right? And looking like, I can see she's smiling at me, he's smiling only because I think she's smiling at, but no, I'm just kidding. But the one-on-one contact with another human being, right? So I was working in Philly years ago, and there was a story that came out.
Misinformation, a growing issue in today's digital age. It's made quickly and it spreads just as fast. To keep up, you need to be prepared and informed. But sometimes, even that's not enough.
There's so much misinformation and disinformation out there, and weeding through it is a challenge on a daily basis.
As an anchor and reporter for NBC4 New York, Pat Battle is always checking to make sure she isn't spreading false info.
You want to Google the source, and then you go back and you figure out, at least 2 or 3 layers to figure out if that person maybe has an axe to grind.
But Ben Berkowitz, Vice President of Digital NBC4 News, says the way we check facts isn't always reliable.
You see something on a social media platform and it's got a verified mark. Well, now you can buy those. You Google something and you say, well, there it is right in front of you. It must be real. There's an old joke online. The best place in the world to bury a body is the second page of a Google search result.
You put out one thing, and then people will reinterpret it. It's like the telephone game that you played in kindergarten, only that telephone game on steroids.
For Liz Gonzalez, a consumer reporter with Telemundo Channel 47, a deeper dive into one's social profiles is what tells the story.
What other things that person has posted? Look at the history. What have they been posting in the past weeks? Do they tend to post controversial things?
But sometimes, misinformation can spread simply by people not taking the time to understand the information they read.
I think the biggest challenge is people don't go beyond the headline.
Disinformation probably affects our generation more than any other. We decided to ask students what they took away from today's event.
I would say my major takeaway from the event is basically just to dig deeper, not being afraid to kind of follow your gut intuition, or even just to always double check and not be afraid to go deeper into stories and ask the people around you.
There's all this misinformation going around, which is leading people to do and say not great things. So to have this talked about is very important.
I think misinformation and disinformation and the education around it is extremely important. I feel like we've seen recently a rise in false information going on around Twitter, Instagram, and other social media platforms.
Misinformation won't be going away anytime soon, but if we know how to spot it, we can fight it.
AP, CNBC, amongst other stops. And last but certainly not least, Vaughn Benton, you may have seen before.